2026 is shaping up to be a huge year for movies and television. We're talking about reality-bending superhero epics, the long-awaited big screen jump for characters from a galaxy far, far away, and mind-blowing new stories from some of the best directors working today. The year is so packed with potential blockbusters, it's honestly a little overwhelming. But don't worry, we've got you covered. We've sorted through the hype, the rumors, and the confirmed announcements to bring you the go-to list. In this video, we're counting down the 10 movies and shows of 2026 that are simply unmissable. Let's jump in. Starting with a franchise that just refuses to die. Number 10, Scream 7. Coming in at number 10 is Scream 7. And look, just putting this on the list is a choice, because saying this production has been troubled is the understatement of the century. After the awesome success of the last two films, the franchise basically imploded. Star Melissa Barrera was fired, Jenna Ortega left because of scheduling conflicts, and then director Christopher Landon walked, calling the project a dream job that turned into a nightmare. For a minute, it really looked like Ghostface was finally done for, but then the franchise did what it always does. It came back from the dead. In a wild turn of events, it was announced that Neve Campbell would return as the ultimate final girl, Sidney Prescott, after she sat out the 6th movie over a salary dispute. On top of that, franchise creator Kevin Williamson is stepping in to direct. This isn't just another sequel, it's a full-on creative reset focused on its legacy characters. The film is now slated for release on February 27, 2026. The big question is whether they can recapture that old magic and honor the legacy, or if all the off-screen drama will be more memorable than the movie itself. Either way, every single horror fan on the planet will be watching. Adolescent became the legend of Baker Street. For our number 8 spot, we're diving back into a familiar, terrifying world with * 28 years later. Part 2, The Bone Temple. Yes, you heard that right. Not only are we getting a sequel to the groundbreaking zombie film 28 Days Later, we are getting a whole new trilogy. The original, directed by Danny Boyle and written by Alex Garland, completely redefined the zombie genre with its terrifyingly fast infected. Now, almost 3 decades later, Boyle and Garland are back to continue the story. The first part of the new trilogy, 28 Years Later, sets the stage in 2025, but it's the second installment, The Bone Temple, that's slated for a January 16, 2026 release. The new movies were filmed back-to-back, with Nia DaCosta taking over as director for the second part. The original film was a masterclass in tension and social commentary, and you can still feel its influence today. The biggest challenge will be living up to that legacy. But with the original creators involved, we have a feeling they're about to unleash a whole new kind of rage on audiences. Sliding into our number 7 spot is the high-concept thriller 56 Days. In what sounds like a Hitchcockian nightmare for the modern age, this film is based on the best-selling novel by Catherine Ryan Howard and has 2 powerhouse actors attached. We're talking about Dove Cameron and Avan Jogia. The premise is absolutely killer. A new couple decides to move in together right before a COVID lockdown begins. Just 56 days later, one of them is found dead, and the other becomes the prime suspect. It's a claustrophobic whodunit mystery that unfolds in a setting we can all relate to a little too well. With 2 of the most intense and captivating actors working today, at the center of a story full of twists and paranoia, 56 Days has all the makings of a taut, psychological thriller that will have audiences holding their breath. While an exact release date in 2026 has yet to be announced, this is one to keep your eye on. At number 6 is a film with a huge legacy to live up to, Toy Story 5. When Disney announced a 5th movie, the internet pretty much asked, why? Toy Story 3 gave us the perfect, emotionally devastating end to the trilogy. Then Toy Story 4 came along and gave Woody his own separate goodbye. So where do you possibly go from there? Well, it seems Pixar is ready to give us an answer. Andrew Stanton, a key creative mind who co-wrote the first 4 films and directed classics like Finding Nemo and WALL-E, is back to write and direct this new chapter. Tom Hanks and Tim Allen are confirmed to be returning as Woody and Buzz. The story will reportedly reportedly center on the toys struggling as electronics become the new obsession for kids. This introduces a new threat to playtime in the form of a smart tablet named LilyPad. The challenge is huge. They have to justify this film's existence by telling a story that feels necessary, not just like a corporate cash grab. But with a release date set for June 19th, 2026, and Stanton's track record, there's a cautious hope that they might just pull it off and make us all cry in a movie theater one more time. Our number 5 pick is for all you science fiction fans out there, Project Hail Mary, releasing March 20th, 2026. This is the movie version of the incredible novel by Andy Weir, the same author who wrote The Martian. And if that isn't enough to get you excited, it stars Ryan Gosling and is being directed by the brilliant duo of Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, the minds behind the Lego Movie and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Gosling plays Ryland Grace, a science teacher who wakes up on a spaceship millions of miles from home with amnesia. He has to piece together his memories to figure out his mission, saving Earth from an extinction-level event. The book is a masterpiece of problem-solving, humor, and pure heart, and it has one of the most beloved character dynamics in recent sci-fi history. Given the source material and the talent involved, this could be this generation's The Martian, a smart, funny, and awe-inspiring space adventure that celebrates human ingenuity. With a confirmed IMAX release, this is one journey you'll want to take on the biggest screen you can find. At number 4, we're trading spaceships for swords with the only TV show on our list, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. While the main Game of Thrones series ended years ago, HBO is far from done with Westeros. After the massive success of House of the Dragon, this new prequel series is adapting George R.R. Martin's novellas, known as The Tales of Dunk and Egg. Set about a century before the events of Game of Thrones, the show follows the adventures of a young, naive, but noble hedge knight, Sir Duncan the Tall, and his tiny squire, Egg, who is secretly Aegon the Fifth Targaryen. The tone is expected to be a lot different from its predecessors, less about huge battles for the Iron Throne, and more of a grounded, character-focused road trip. For fans who loved the world of Westeros but got a little tired of the sprawling politics and bleakness, this could be a refreshing change of pace. It's a chance to explore a different corner of this incredibly rich world, and it's easily one of the most exciting new shows of the year, expected to premiere in late 2025. Our number 3 pick is a project of truly mythic proportions, The Odyssey, directed by Christopher Nolan. What does one of the world's biggest directors do after winning the Oscar for Oppenheimer? Apparently, he takes on one of the foundational stories of Western literature. Universal announced this epic adaptation of Homer's tale for a July 17, 2026 release, and confirmed it's being shot with new IMAX film technology. The announced cast is just staggering, reportedly featuring Matt Damon as Odysseus, Tom Holland as his son Telemachus, and Anne Hathaway as his wife Penelope. The story follows the Greek king Odysseus on his 10-year journey home after the Trojan War, where he faces down mythical monsters and angry gods. Nolan is famous for his practical effects and huge-scale filmmaking, so the thought of him bringing creatures like the Cyclops to life on an IMAX screen is mind-blowing. This is exactly the kind of ambitious, epic, director-driven event movie that feels all too rare these days. It's a project that screams must be seen in a theater, and it has all the ingredients of a cinematic legend. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we travel to a galaxy far, far away for The Mandalorian and Grogu. That's right, Mando and Baby Yoda are making the jump to the big screen. After years of dominating Disney+, the duo that reignited the passion of the Star Wars fanbase will headline the first Star Wars film to hit theaters since 2019. Directed by Jon Favreau, the movie is scheduled to hit theaters on May 22, 2026, and is ready to be the cinematic event of the summer. Plot details are being kept under wraps, but it will continue the journey of Din Djarin and his foundling Grogu as they navigate a dangerous galaxy. This is a huge moment for Lucasfilm. They're betting that the connection audiences built with these characters over several seasons of TV will turn into massive box office success. It bridges the gap between their streaming shows and their big screen legacy. The pressure is on, but this is the way. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for. The number 1 most anticipated release of 2026 is, without a doubt, Avengers 5, which is now reportedly titled Avengers Doomsday. After what many fans feel has been a shaky period for the MCU, Marvel is looking to come back in a big way, and an Avengers film is always the biggest event on the calendar. Originally called The Kang Dynasty, the film seems to be going through a major creative shift following the departure of actor Jonathan Majors. The story is now shifting focus, and the release has been delayed to a new target date in 2026. But the biggest rumor, the one that sent shockwaves through the entire fandom, is that the new main villain will be none other than Dr. Doom, played by a returning Robert Downey Jr. Let that sink in for a second. The man who kicked off the entire MCU as Iron Man would return as Marvel's most iconic villain. Add in the rumor that the Russo brothers, who directed Infinity War and Endgame, are returning to direct, and you have a recipe for pure, unfiltered hype. Even with a healthy dose of caution after the MCU's recent struggles, the sheer scale of this possibility makes Avengers Doomsday the unmissable, can't-look-away blockbuster event of 2026. And that's our list. From the return of Ghostface to the dawn of Doomsday, 2026 is set to be an unforgettable year at the movies. Of course, our number one pick was Avengers Doomsday, a film that has the potential to reshape the entire MCU. But now we want to hear from you. What did you think of our list? What movie or show are you most excited to see in 2026? Let us know down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our next breakdown. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the movies.